Well, you know what? Hi. I can't. Sorry for the confusion to everybody over at Twitch. I can't get the title to change. I'm trying. It is not working. It should read Cottage Coward Speaks, but it doesn't. It says what it said on Saturday. Anyways, hi, I'm John. Thank you for coming. It's great to see everyone here. I'm happy to be here. Well, I mean, I'm happy to be alive, I guess. Canada hasn't fallen apart entirely like they kept advertising on Twitter that it was going to. Country hasn't torn itself apart either, and the truckers are still in Ottawa. Makes me so happy. I'm just happy. They said they were going to stay there until everything opens up. I hope they follow through with that. Man, do I ever hope that they follow through with that. So, how was everybody sat Sunday? I know I spent a good day. I spent a good day reading that Bible of mine. I finally got caught up on a couple of stuff that I wanted to get caught up on. I basically stayed off of Twitter the entire day, first time in a while. It was nice. Woke up, made my breakfast, got on here and found out that the coward of the cottages was going to make his speech. Now, it was 30 minutes long, and they did that thing where they have to jump around back and forth instead of just doing one whole speech in French, one whole speech in English. They want to try and confuse people. Basically, it sums up to only Black Lives Matters riots are allowed to take place. You're not allowed to fight for your freedom. I don't agree with people fighting for their freedom. It's basically all he said the entire time. He called the entire trucker convoy basically all racists again, that they use hateful rhetoric and violence towards citizens. He basically just did what, the liberal establishment does. They point the finger and they say, this is why we can't have nice things. It's their fault. If only they would have gotten the vaccine, we'd be out of here already. Instead, Omar Al-Ghabra, or whatever his name is planning on instituting intra-borders, so between provinces, they're going to have vaxports there. So they're going to make it hard to travel between provinces, and that definitely is just so that they can stop people from traveling. Now they're basically trying to lock people in at home. It's ridiculous. So I want to jump into it just because, I want to show you how he sees how the weekend went. 1 second. Looking at the wrong. Here we go. So this this comes courtesy of Disclose TV. They're the one who kind of clipped basically the only part. I mean, you can go there. It's on, I think it's City News 24. You can watch a whole 30-minute thing where he talks about how we have to come together as a country, and we can't let a couple of racists hold us back. When no, we shouldn't be letting it. That dude who was seen with his photographer Adam Scooty, Adam should be letting us know who had the Confederate flag, but he's not going to because he works for Justin Trudeau. So we might as well see what Justin actually had to say about all this.
I have attended protests and rallies in the past.
He has.
I agreed with the goals.
He kneeled.
I supported the people expressing their concerns and their issues. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that.
Yep. Remember?
I've also chosen to not.
Remember Black Lives Matter when they just tore through practically the whole West Coast? When they just about took out, was it? Well, they went after Kenosha. They went after, what was it, Portland. They set up Chaz. He supports all that. He supports what Black Lives, just based off that, he supports what Black Lives Matter did to the statue of, was it John A. MacDonald? Where they knocked him down, covered him in paint, and cut his head off?
Not go anywhere near protests that have expressed hateful rhetoric, violence towards fellow citizens, and a disrespect, not just of some.
How say you don't know what Black Lives Matter is without saying you know what Black Lives Matter is? That's what that was.
Science, but of the frontline health workers and, quite frankly, the 90% of truckers who have been doing the right thing to keep Canadians safe, to put food on our tables.
To be clear, only a third of the country actually voted for this jackass. It turns out he had, 5 million of the popular vote? 8 million people didn't even vote. None of the elected officials got more votes than people who didn't actually choose to vote. So basically, a third of people who voted for him, and then more than a third, or I guess not more than a third, but eight, because these are people who didn't vote, then 8 million people looked at all of our bad choices and went, why the hell do I have to pick one? Why can't I just say no? Why do we have to have any of these idiots in charge? But instead, we got him. Now, the hateful rhetoric and violence he's referring to and defacing of our statues that he's talking about, here it is. Here it is. This is basically the Terry Fox statue they defaced. Oh, and now for the people who are going to come up with, well, people pissed and shit on the war memorial. Well, we condemn them too then. Don't worry. We condemn people who do stuff like that. But just to be clear, there were maybe 2 or 3 people who did that. Look at how many people are cleaning this up. Look at how many people cleaned up the streets last night. Look at how many people made sure all the garbage was picked up and put into bags. No one wants to talk about that stuff. They all want to talk about the one Nazi flag. The guy who was walking around with Adam Scotty or Scooty or whatever the hell his name was. That was probably... Wait, no, that was a Nazi flag. Yeah, and then the one Confederate flag. The one that was on the back of a truck that conveniently went by the liberal spin doctor's place of work. And then we saw one, just one. We never saw the truck again. We saw one other Confederate flag being carried around by a dude. Again, I'm not entirely sure where the hell Confederate Canadians hide, considering the fact that we're Canadians and Confederates. I could have swore we're Americans. But I mean, if we got more, I think we got a bigger issue. Besides, I don't think we even really know what happened to him. Where'd he go? Where'd he come from? People were following him all over, and they lost him pretty quick. He had a big ass flag. Yeah. So those are that's the type of stuff you have to be afraid of when going downtown. Oh yeah, loud honking. You know, that loud honking to tell you that we don't want to be vaccinated. It's about the same noise these pro-vax, pro-mandate people make whenever they're talking. You know, they just start going on about how we're vaccinated, then we can stop the spread of I almost said the flu, of COVID, when you can still get infected and you can still spread it, and it can still just be as lethal and you still die. So the mandates don't really stop anything except people from living their lives. That's all they do. And you won't believe the amount of people just coming out of the woodwork to say, so what, drunk driving laws don't do anything? No, they don't. You know what does something? Education. Okay, the vaccines do exactly as you say they do. Get rid of the mandate, get rid of all of the mandates, and I'll go get one. I'll get one. I don't think you should have to, if you need 3 vaccines, if the Omicron is only... If I'm only protected against Omicron after 3 other vaccines, no. I'm going to wait till there's 1. And if you don't like it, there's a door. Actually, the door is behind me. It's been green screened the fuck out. I'm locked in here. And this little, see? The illusion fails if I stick my hand too far out. That's basically what people want. And it's sad because we're supposed to be Canadians. I thought we were the ones who understood what real freedom was. Americans don't understand what real freedom is. They're the ones who fought for theirs. We're the country who just got the rest of our freedoms from Britain in 1982. We never fought for freedom. This is the closest thing we've ever done to fighting for freedom. So I'm kind of happy for the fact that the truckers are still in Ottawa. Let them blare their horns. You want the natives to go and protest? Go let them protest. When the oil doesn't come up because we're trying to put in solar panels everywhere and all that other green tech baloney, okay, fine. Yeah, it's still freedom. I don't think the government should be mandating anything anyway. So, no. And back to the people saying, well, drunk driving laws, they don't stop. They don't. Educating is what stops people from getting in the car drunk, telling them you are not safe to drive. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping them from getting back into that car, turning the keys on, in driving. Drunk driving laws also don't stop people from being hit once a person's behind the wheel anyway. All it does is, well, they were drunk and they killed someone. You kill someone when you're sober, it's still a crime. I don't understand the people who think that these mandates are going to stop anyone from dying or extend life. The mandates, if the vaccine is what's causing our lives to be extended, it still isn't the mandate. And I still don't want to live that long. I'm happy with whatever length of time I'm on this planet for. That's the whole point of this story. You only have a finite amount of time. Mandating that your neighbor wear a mask when he walks down the hall, or you'll scream at him and shame him, you're the villain of the story. You're the one who needs to get your head checked. I already know I need to get my head checked. I don't need to get it checked for this, though. This, I can tell you, is that locking people in their homes, telling them if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go to certain stores, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't go to the big box Walmarts, you can't go to the movie theaters, you can't go to the restaurants, you can't sit amongst your peers who are vaccinated and taking care of themselves, no different than you are. The only thing they did is go and get a vaccine, which doesn't protect you from getting sick. It doesn't really stop the symptoms from being that bad because they can still be just as bad. And you can still die. You can still pass it on. So these mandates are not helping. It's just a circular fight between both sides, which basically is why I'm at the stance that I'm at. There was something I wanted to show you. Oh, yes. And before I get off of this, do you know what liar.com is? I don't. I don't know who owns it. I'd love to know who owns liar.com because it donated $42,000 to the Freedom Convoy 2022 GoFundMe. Now, when you click on liar.com, it brings you to a very, very informative Wikipedia article. I mean, this one is going to have so much info on it going on for the next, so I don't know how many damn years. Uh-oh. I mean, look at this. Anyways, liar.com brings you to one of the greatest, most informative, don't hit that button, Wikipedia pages ever. Now, of course, Wikipedia is false. You shouldn't trust it for anything, especially when it comes to our, oh, shit. One-man team. Especially when it comes to our Prime Minister. Everything on here that's paints him in a bad light is obviously false information. We should just make it clear right off the bat, right? The SNC-Lavalin affair, I'm pretty sure that had to do with the mafia, which is funny. Isn't it weird how when there's government, really the only people who benefit are criminals? I have more respect for the mafia, too. I probably shouldn't, but I do. But yeah, look, we got stuff like the We Charities ethics investigation, which, by the way, I'm sure there's an answer, but I never saw it appear anywhere, and I follow stuff pretty closely. I do. I'll admit that. So yeah, thank you from liar.com, especially to the Freedom Convoy 2022 GoFundMe. Thank you very much. I'm sure that'll be very well. That'll help them a lot is what I'm trying to say, because something just popped into my head. I just recently found out in Alberta, they're holding truckers pretty much hostage in a building, telling them either go home or what. Here, let me find it. The audio is, oh wait, why do I have to find it? I got it right here. What am I stupid? I mean, I am, but ooh. There's a censorship thing. Here it is. Milk River, Alberta. Where is it going to pop up? Milk River, Alberta. I just want to make sure that it's not going to play before I... Oh, boy, and it's playing as soon as I hit the button. Let's not go too loud, I guess. Yeah, let's not go too loud. They can leave. They can leave. The only way I'm leaving is in a cruiser. Good.
You know what? Who's going to stay? I'm staying.
All these, yeah, and I don't know if it's a convoy headed here or if it's a convoy headed like that. They're just doing something here. Yep. The ones that want to leave can leave. The GoFundMe will pay the fines. A ticket for the Highway Traffic Act. That's it. That's true. What?
There's no weakening, guys. They can leave. But the only way I'm leaving is in a cruiser.
Good. So it restarts. It's only 45 seconds. So that's it looping back. Good. And that's how it should be. If the the police, no matter what my opinion about them is, I guess it's their job. If that's what they feel like doing, they can round up when they go to the protests about the pipelines, they're going to round them up. If that's what they want to do here, let them. But it's not going to change my opinion about them. I don't think they should have removed the protesters then. I think that should have been up to the people who are annoyed. Like, where the hell are counter protesters? Why are there never any counter protesters? It's only ever one group. That's the problem. That's why I'm not going to, well, you know, that's why the cops constantly look bad, because basically it's somebody's going to complain, and then the government has to do something because we elected a government. Get rid of the government, get rid of all this stuff. Take care of yourself. You know, learn to take care of yourself. Boy, I clicked everything there, didn't I? But we're just seeing more and more how in Canada democracy doesn't really mean anything. You have basically 8 million people who didn't vote and 5 million people who voted for liberals, for what are they called? Conservatives. I think it was Bloc Québécois, but I didn't even recognize the dude. I was surprised. I think it was. Anyway. Of course, PPC can't even get 5 million votes, which sucks. But if you're going to vote for let's go back. Let's back up on these laws. And that's what I mean. If we're going to pick anyone, pick the guy who says he's going to get rid of most of the laws. Now, can we trust him? Probably not. Why? Politician. Why would you trust any of them? Why would you? All they want is to be elected. And then once they're elected, they want to be reelected. Most of these people are career politicians. That's what Trudeau's hoping to do out of this. He's hoping to be a career politician all the way till he dies. We need term limits in Canada as much as they need term limits in the States. I don't think we should have. They have a problem with these literal crones down there and old men. One of them's painting eyebrows on her head like she can't even use her arm right. And we're headed there with these with it's been 40 years that we've been free, and most of the people who are in Parliament now are basically the same people, if not their family members or descendants. I mean, out here, people were hoping that whatever our dude out here is called, our member of Parliament or whatever, one of his sons was going to continue instead. Most of his sons take hockey pucks to the head. They're not the same thing. Trust me, I've met one of them. I wouldn't want him up there. He'd sound like me, but worse with the whistle. He'd sound like Gopher from Winnie the Pooh. Moses couldn't speak well, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe we need more people who can't, that would put me next. Anyways, I'm basically done with the Freedom Convoy. A lot has happened. They're still in Canada. They're not moving on. I don't blame them. I don't want them to. I support them as much as I support any other peaceful protest. I do not support, I'm not Justin Trudeau. I don't support Black Lives Matter. Anyways, yeah. So I guess that brings, I didn't do anything this time. So I guess that brings me on to my next topic. I wrote it down. One man. I don't have anybody yell stuff at me. Oh yeah. Why are so many old people pulling their music off of Spotify? I want to ask a real question. Neil Young has maybe a handful of good songs. Who the hell's following him? Who the hell's still alive that listens to him? Now, Joni Mitchell, on the other hand, shoot me before you put anything of hers on. Honest to God. No, I can't. My brother, we used to go for car rides, and I remember he'd pull out his phone. Oh, look, Joni Mitchell, best of the era. No. If I'm going to pick any of them from then, it's going to be Bob Dylan. That's it. That's where I'm ending it. Well, you know, from that group. Unless perhaps the Doors was with that group, but I doubt it. And I mean, I guess you have what's his face there. It'll come to me. But him. Yeah. So why are they, the only reason they're doing this is they're hoping to drum up, you know, recognition for themselves again. They want to be recognized. They miss being in the spotlight. I don't blame them. It's been like 40 years. But like, I remember just what, Michael Jackson 10, 15 years ago, he got famous again. They were almost there. All they had to do was wait and everybody would know about their music one more time. But instead, now they're trying to tell everybody that Spotify is pushing misinformation, which isn't true. It's pushing all information. You don't get to decide what's misinformation, especially when it comes to Joe Rogan. He's the one who's pulling on these people because of their qualifications. What, should we only have people who are just pro-vax talking constantly all the time, pro-mandate all the time? And it's a little bit ironic coming from these people because I could have swore these were the people who showed up at, I can never remember the name of the goddamn festival anymore because it's so stupid. Half these festivals are the same thing. Everybody goes there. They're all weird looking. They all want to get high, get, you know, get off with each other and go home and pretend like it never happened. Or everybody wants to pretend they were there, which is the equally weird part. Yeah. You can still, I mean, Spotify is a shitty app for, like, look, see, my problem here, honestly, is I'm trying not to say that I hate Spotify for all these other reasons, because I do. I've used Spotify for, what, 2016? Or since 2016. That's what I meant to say. I've been using it since 2016. I was working at The Source. My boss was like, hey, do you know what Spotify is? And I'm like, no. And then 2 months later, I'm paying for it. And I've been paying for it basically since then. It's a shit app. It's got, what, I think in 2017 they sold to a Swedish company and it just got worse then. You want to leave Spotify because the app crashes. You can hardly ever find the music you want, especially now, I guess. I'm staying. The only reason I'm staying is because of Joe Rogan. Well, I mean, and I can get my other podcasts there. But if he moves, I mean, they all put their stuff out everywhere. I mean, I was just listening to Tim Dillon today. He's not going to be putting his onto Substack or whatever the hell that is. I don't even know what the hell a Substack is. First time I heard it, him talking about it, I don't want to be mean. I thought he was going to talk about food. He does a lot of food adverts. And anyways, not important. So I don't know what the hell that is. Don't ask me to go check it out. I don't even know what the hell Wordle is. My brother just explained it to me earlier. I used to be the one who knew all about this stuff. Now all I know about is this Freedom Convoy 2022, the Batman, Justice League, stuff like that. I don't even know the fun conspiracies. All I know is about what the hell's going on about Warner Brothers. If you want to talk to me about the cabal, talk to me about the cabal and Warner Brothers. If you want to talk to me about a conspiracy of people higher up, let's talk about the higher ups at Warner Brothers. And here he is going on about Wordle. I've still got to look it up later. I feel bad because I told him I would. If you end up watching this, I'm sorry. I swear I'll look it up. I'm not just trying to, I don't know what the, anyways. In Canada, we've got too much stuff going on. Everything from convoys, Wordle. We're suffering because we're the hat for the United States, right? So everything that happens there just shoots right up here. And am I the only one who's got a feeling that, no, what's our California? British Columbia? Looks nothing like it. Am I the only one who thinks British Columbia is just letting people skip across the border? And what I mean, I'm not talking about legal immigration here. Well, I mean, well, not really. Because they're not immigrating here. They're coming here to spread their ideas and they're going home. Like a bad cold. And I'm pretty sure it's happening through there. Why? Because you got Oregon right there. British Columbia is literally just forests. Everybody's high half the time. And I can tell me that they aren't. I mean, they're also basically the last to find out about anything. And if you don't pay attention to British Columbia enough, eventually something crazy pops out of there. Must be something to do with the soil. So yeah, Spotify, that's what I was talking about. Does anybody even care about these old people? I mean, you can still get their music. If you listen to Spotify on your computer, I know most people probably don't, but if you listen to Spotify on your computer, you can still download all of Joni Mitchell's stuff. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and illegally pirate everything off of the Pirate Bay. But if you were, you could take all that music and you could just upload it to Spotify anyway. And you could just listen to it there the whole time. And I think that would be more in line with their statements they were making. I don't know anything about them, but when I think of Drug Fest, whatever it's called in the 80s, when I think about that, all I can think is, well, they were doing this because of the government, right? They wanted to be free. They wanted to do whatever they wanted. Well, go ahead. Pirate Radio Rock, the movie. It was called Pirate Radio Rock. I'm not saying pirate, radio rock music. But the film Pirate Radio Rock, that is a great film that basically summarizes how all humans should be. Love of music, love of all types of music, able to get along, no care for the government. Zero. Little care for what they think. It's nice to see Canadians finally getting there, though. 1 second. I can't fucking see the time. I can't see the timestamp. You know when you look into the light for too long and it burns an image into your eye? It's currently, I'm not even kidding. It's a cat running across my eyelids. Oh boy. What does that say? Can I get a timestamp anywhere? Okay. I'm just curious. Okay. All right. So we did the Spotify. We did the other thing. I forget. Maybe this is going to be a short one. Maybe I'll talk about anything else after. I'm honestly, I still can't see. I was talking straight at it this whole time. Anyways, if you're Canadian and you're listening to this, honestly, just try to live your life the way you want. Don't. How about you just look at what governments have done for 400, 500, 600 years? See the way we've gone to war with each other. Think about things a little bit more yourself. We can still live as neighbors. We can still have people coming over. We can still have the world the way it is. And we can appease some of the leftists by making it open-bordered. Imagine a free world you can go anywhere with. There's this line. I'm going to have to get it memorized for next time. I want to say it right. I could just Google it too. But basically, with the internet, we don't need the globalists. We just need ourselves. Why can't... Okay, you don't want me to hook up your internet. You still hire somebody that's an expert. It just doesn't have to be the same. Why does it have to be one monopoly? And governments tend to just be the head of that monopoly. I mean, look at what we're having with issues with right now in Canada, with CBC, CTV, and Global. I saw a study, not a study, I saw one of those polls. I keep calling them studies, but I saw a poll a couple days ago. Blew my goddamn mind. I prefer CTV because I feel like you can tell when they're lying. But some people think Global is more trustworthy. Now, that came as a shock to me. Now, maybe it's because most of the people voting on it were from out west. So, you know that thing I was talking about them being high? Maybe that's it. Oh, that's what I was going to show. Speaking of polls, but that's what I mean. It was a Twitter poll. It was just a Twitter poll. So take it with a grain of salt. But I swore CTV could be more trustworthy. I never once would have thought that anybody, that there was a group of people out there who thought Global could be more trustworthy. Now, of course, again, it's a Twitter poll. I just can't get that out of my head. I'm not saying CTV is trustworthy. I'm saying, if you have to take a poison pill, take CTV. Maybe it's just because, I grew up near the Capitol and I grew up watching that with my grandparents and it's just what I'm used to. It's just what I'm used to, but still. So yeah, I was going to say how I completely forgot about it when I was talking about the other thing. So I'll show it now. But here's the only article I guess I'll be reading tonight. Majority of Canadians want COVID restrictions lifted. Poll. January 31st, 7 hours ago. So what this is an article. We're looking at a photo of protesters. I mean, you guys can probably see it better than I do. I still got the little cat burn into my eyes running around the screen. But yeah, it says mandate freedom forever. We the people. And there's people standing on top of there. And then in front of, on the banner, I'm reading everything behind the banner. It's a stand for freedom. You got 13, 14. You got more than the 12 people advertised that were coming. Wow. Anyway, majority of Canadians now saying it is time to end COVID restrictions, according to an Angus Reid poll, a sharp increase from when the same question was asked in early January. The latest poll taken January 27th to 28th found 54% want restrictions to be lifted compared to 39% who wanted restrictions lifted when the same question was asked 2 weeks earlier. We're done. It's over. Lift the restrictions. Then the truckers will go home. And you know what? America, here's some wise words to your president, who not like he can fucking hear anything. But here it is. And the restrictions. Yeah. That's it. Now I'm like one of those people who think the president's going to listen to them. I don't give a shit. How would you guys vote for what instead of voting for like, you know what? I get the feeling Canadians would vote for a dude who came out and said, "We'll just segregate the whole country at once." I'll be like, "Yeah, we should do that. We'll have one set of we'll finally get rid of Quebec." You know, that's going to be the sentiment. I don't even understand that. You go all over the place. People don't want segregation, yet they want to get rid of Quebec. Then they call Quebec stupid for wanting to leave. Like, you bully them all the time. Then you wonder why they're angry all the time. They're French. They're easily stressed. The poll asked people if they agreed or disagreed with the statement, "It's time to end restrictions and let people self-isolate if they're at risk." A majority of Canadians now say it is time to remove restrictions and let Canadians manage their own level of risk. An increase of 15%. What? An increase of 15 percentage points since this question was asked in early January, the Angus Reid Institute said. Look, this is from 7th to 12. Look at that. Look at all these people who hate freedom. I wonder what happened. No, I'm sure it's because more people like sorry. I'm sure it's because more people answered the poll, but I just love how like not sure can't say I'm not sure if I want to be free. I'm not sure if I want harder restrictions either. How about we continue this little test trial? I'll get back to you at this. That shouldn't even be an option. Not sure can't say. I'm not sure if I want to go see my grandmother still. I mean, she's remained pretty anti-vax this whole time. Stupid bitch. Maybe I should mandate her to do it. No, I'm kidding. I doubt anybody has said that. I can't even say that about my grandparents. They're all gone. They're all waiting for me at the, what is it, with the spirit in the sky? Isn't that like one of their old songs? Majority backlisting restrictions in every province and region in Canada, with rural dwellers being more likely. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell this means in the first place. Majority backlifting restrictions. Majority. Oh, like, did they mean like a majority is backing lifting restrictions in every province and region in Canada? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, 54 is kind of like a small, like, majority is majority. I've been told 4 times since last Saturday that majority of Canadians voted for Justin Trudeau. He had 30% of the vote, a third of the vote, a third of people who voted for him. 50. This is more. I mean, we could either take the Hicks or we can only take the people living in the cities. You know, we either take what the cities think is uneducated or we take what the country people think is uneducated. Either way, I'm not sure why we're acting like the educated people, like anybody is any more educated than anyone else. When we're yelling still at Joe Rogan to take off misinformation from the 5 or 6 people who would actually know anything about what they're talking about. Because he didn't just interview people who were anti-vax, anti-mandate. I mean, they weren't even anti-vax, anti-mandate. They were just talking about what the hell they did as a job. They're basically like, yeah, we made this thing. Everybody's mad at us. Why is everybody mad at you? Well, you know, their governments are taking our products and trying to jam it into their arms. Is it a bad thing? Well, not necessarily. I mean, inject yourself with too much of anything, and next thing you know, you're going to be standing next to the spirit in the sky anyway. I like this part. Women over the age of 54 are the only age gender group that disagree that the restrictions should end. Yeah, because women are, you know, they're a little more easily scared. I don't think they have a weaker immune system, so I don't think they should have to be that scared, but I don't know. Majority of each of the other gender generation groupings agree that the time has come. Yeah, it's just women over the age of 54. which is basically my point with Madada. One of my favorite jokes ever comes from House regarding Madada. Anyway, I was going to drink and drive, but then a bunch of old ladies got Madada. Or, sorry, a bunch of moms then got Madada. I think that's how it went. Support for lifting restrictions is highest amongst men aged 35 to 45. Oh, also with drinking laws, smoking laws can fucking go. Followed by 18 to 34 at 60%, and women aged 34 to 54. I'm not rereading this, so if it made no sense to you, it makes no sense to me. That's fine. Among women aged 55 and over, 51%. It's just the way they throw the numbers at you. So support for lifting restrictions is highest among men aged 35 to 54. I'm hardly there. Hardly. I'm not even close to it. What am I talking about? I ain't breached 30. At 67%, followed by men at 18 to 34. You know, the young guys at 60%. And women aged 35 to 54 at 58%. Among women aged 55 and over, 51 disagree with lifting restrictions, while 40% agreed with lifting restrictions. Single mothers. Just over 1 in 5 say that they or someone in their household have been infected with COVID-19 since December 1st, with most describing symptoms as minor. As to rate their symptoms, 52% of those tested. Does this even have to do with anything? I guess so. Who tested positive and said they were relatively mild, just minor symptoms. 47% said their symptoms were serious but manageable, like a case of the flu. Like a serious case of the flu, or like it's more serious than COVID, and that made it feel like a flu. While 1% reported their symptoms as very severe, required hospitalization. The poll was conducted among a representative randomized sample from 1,688 Canadian adults who were members of Angus Reid Forum, an online panel. For comparison purposes only, a probability sample this size would carry a margin of error of plus or minus 2.5 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. So, what do you guys get that one time out of every other time? You're just off like wildly? Yeah, we thought all Canadians were for the sugar tax. Now they keep going to states to buy all their pop. That's where we've landed in Canada. That's basically our weekend. And hopefully the truckers are safe. Hopefully it continues, non-harmful, non-violent. Hopefully, honestly, there was I forgot to mention this. There was the search is on for Captain Confederate and the Nowhere Nazi, I guess, because we can't find them. If anybody has information on them, if you go on Twitter and you find there's supposed to be a $6,000 reward out if we can find them. People just want to ask the Confederate, why did you wear a mask? Why didn't you show off who you were? If you're so proud of the Confederates, how come you hid your face in a crowd of people who are showing their faces? It's kind of cowardly. It's basically what we're... When is my head leave frame? Oh. Yeah, this is the most professional show you'll find on regarding Canadian politics. Funniest shit ever, too. That's why I stuck my head out of frame. Because that's a funny joke. Yeah, I hope Canadians... I hope after this we can come together. I actually had a bit of a redeeming chat, I would say, on Twitter with somebody. I'm not saying all Canadians are, losing their minds over this. In fact, some people, they're kind of... I don't want to say they're confused, like, ooh. I mean, like, they know what they're thinking about. They're like, yeah, everybody should have but Canada is the joke. Yes, Canada. I feel like you got that out of context, but you're right. Canada is a joke. I mean, we're fighting for our freedom, but we're still fighting for it the same way we've been doing it. Like, we got our freedom basically in 1982 because an old lady signed a document, and now we're calling it fighting, right? We're sitting in a city going honk, honk, just for hours on end. You honestly, the night footage is my favorite, just because I used to answer phones for Toronto, and the shit we deal with is just hilarious in that city. So to hear Ottawa getting just blared out all night is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Sure, basically all I want is for this to end and I can go back to the movies. I mean, honestly, if they end the mandates, yeah, why not? I'll go see the Batman. I can't at that point be like, well, I can't go see Wonder Woman 84. I need a vaccine. I actually have to sit down in the theaters and go like, well, now I have to review this. Now I have to sit here. And I like movies. I would say the only thing I actually miss is the theater, but at the same time, our theater here, Stonehenge, has probably more comfy places to sit, and that place is over 12,000 years old. This theater, I was there when they were putting it up 20 years ago. They haven't updated it since. It's the same seats. They update the friggin' things in Ottawa all the time, and that's just what I mean. They get rid of the trucks, they get rid of the mandates. I'll be there. I'll be there to watch everything. Speaking of, the Halo trailer dropped. That's 4 times now, and I mean it. I wanted to watch it when I read about it earlier this morning. Then I went to watch it, at lunch. Then I went to watch it before I started reading, and then I tried to watch it before I started this, and it slipped my mind. But apparently, I don't care what anybody says. Cortana already looks Cortana's hot in the video game. She's kind of cute. I look at her, I feel like she's got those like nice brown eyes. I'm excited. Did they even show him off? I know I kind of just changed track here, but I've been going on literally for 40 minutes talking about Justin Trudeau and how much of a joke this all is. Did they show him? And I know he's not really Irish, or is he? I don't think so. But I kind of hope at some point they make him do the accent he does in American Gods. Because he's like the best part of that show. I still got to watch season 3, but he's the best part. Like I almost called him something else again. 1 second. I want to call him Pablo Escobar because I know that's wrong. Pablo Schreiber. See? It's just weird. A Canadian American actor. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you can't even see his face. Are you kidding me? Can I drag the face over? No. Yeah. That's the guy playing Master Chief. I'm excited. I haven't heard his voice for it yet, but it'll be good. Defending Jacob, he was in that. Wasn't that Apple TV? Yeah. It's set to premiere on the 24th. The only problem I have is I don't have Paramount Plus. And I'm hoping Discovery does that thing. So I'm not even sure. I don't even pay for a TV service anymore, except for the television. Boy, am I ever a hypocrite earlier. Get rid of your TV. Well, I got TV. Well, my TV's stuck with my internet, though. I can't even get rid of that shit. I'd love to. People complain about Bell being the worst. Yeah, but they're the fastest. I mean, in my area, what am I going to do? Get Rogers? They're just as corrupt. The only difference is it's not like they have a say in who gets to run advertisements. Bell's funny, though. They'll call me up every so often. Hey, you need a new phone? We saw you just upgraded. Yeah, I just upgraded. I don't need a new phone. Do you need something else you don't need? No. Can I get Paramount Plus? No. I just realized yesterday or a couple days ago, we were looking at, Allison had me put on this show. What are they called? Happy Friends? No. Smiling Friends. I think that's what it's called. While I was looking at Smiling Friends, I learned I could just, every month, I don't have to go into the selection for my different channels. I could literally just go there, click the plus, add Crave, and then click a minus like next month and get rid of it. I thought I had to sign in every time. Anyway, I know it's besides the point. Yeah, I'm excited. I saw a little bit of clips from Halo. I haven't watched the video, but I mean, like I said, Cortana looks good so far. Aside from that, did I go over it on stream yet? I'm pissed. I was finding, and now I still can't find the leaks again. And if I do, I'll bring them up. But I found somebody saying that they have insider knowledge, over at Warner Brothers, and that the Flash movie is basically going to be Batfleck. I almost called him Bat Keaton. Batfleck and the Flash, Ezra Miller, the KKK puncher. He's they're gonna go back in time, do their shit. Stuff's gonna happen. Batfleck's gonna be gone for part of the film, and he's gonna be left with MK Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, MK Batman. And MK Batman, now I'm not, this part it doesn't really matter, but apparently he has their new Supergirl in one of his prisons. Cool, whoop-de-doo. The Supergirl, though, is apparently not, you know, his cousin. It's supposed to be, from what I read, and that's why I want people to take it with as much of a grain of salt as I am right now. I read that she's going to be the daughter of Christopher Reeves' Superman. I mean, people might be like, well, that's pretty cool. Not really. I mean, didn't they hire knockoff Game Theory? One second. To play him in 2005? I can never remember the guy who plays him. Brandon Routh. I hadn't rewatched Superman Returns until after I'd learned about game theory, and he kind of looked like Matt Pat back then. Yeah, isn't that the guy who picks up the mantle for Christopher Reeve? Isn't that what Superman Returns is? It's basically basically the sequel to 2. Ignoring the events of Superman 3. Holy shit, there was a Supergirl movie. So they're just going to ignore all that? Are you kidding me? Yeah, see, Routh later reprised his role as Superman in the 2019 Arrowverse crossover Infinite Earths. Now, give me a second. Let me see. If it pops up, supposed to be Sur-El, Superman's daughter. That's May 23rd. That's a little while ago. Reveals Supergirl looks straight out of the comics, but is that what they're saying here, or are they just saying it looks? That's what I mean. I found a tweet that actually says that she'll be playing a daughter version to Christopher Reeves' Superman. Tweet. I doubt it. I doubt I'll find it like this. But the reason I think there might be some merit to it, Billboard. Yeah. Remember when fans were freaking out about Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill being left off the billboard? Now that I remember having done it. Yeah, and there's Merc. There's Merc. There he is. The Snyderverse, Mercury. Follow him on Twitter. He's cool. So I can explain why the fuck Keaton and Reeves are there instead of current Batman. Because Michael Keaton is replacing Ben Affleck, and the Sasha Calle Supergirl is probably going to be the daughter of Christopher Reeves as Superman. So instead of having Brandon Routh returning to continue it, as he did in the television show, they'll just make him a chick and act like he's dead. And we'll have Michael Keaton. And you can say whatever you want. He might be good. And Michael Keaton's a great actor. But I enjoyed how realistic the fights looked. And I don't think you're going to get that with sorry, he's not an octogenarian. He's 10 less than that. So septuagenarian, I know it doesn't have as nice of a ring to it. But is he going to be able to do more than one? Is he only planned for one more? Is this just to introduce Danny DeVito as a Penguin? Like, seriously, what is the ultimate goal here? Because at least with the Justice League, or Snyder Cut, you could tell where it was kind of going. With the Avengers, you could kind of tell where it was going. With this whole time, Warner Brothers is like, Just like they're reacting to everything. They basically just reacted to the firing of James Gunn, and everybody's up his ass about that. And James Gunn is a great director. I think he's hilarious. I don't have an issue with the Suicide Squad, other than most of it just doesn't. It just kind of feels like I'm watching, like it's hilarious. I think the jokes are great. I feel like I'm watching a child play with toys nonetheless. Have I watched Peacemaker, or is it Pacemaker? Peacemaker, right? No, I haven't watched Peacemaker. Will I? Is it all out? I don't know. I'll watch it when it's all out. And I think that's what's kind of bothering me, is that you can see how they're reacting. James Gunn gets fired at Marvel. Hey, we'll get the Guardians of the Galaxy guy. People love him. They do. Does he make stupid jokes? He does. Now they're mad at him for that. He's not. He even admitted he doesn't think Superman has a poop fetish. Of course, he's going to use that as a joke. Peacemaker's an idiot. Why are you you're letting an idiot character upset you guys, and it's making the Snyder. Yeah, you guys are cultists if I get to say that, because I'm part of the cult. You're making the Snyder people. The Snyder people are making themselves look worse. The only thing I see good right now, honestly, is the Batman. And I've had complaints about it nonstop, but that's because I love these products. I have high hopes for them. Same with the Lord of the Rings. I watched that little lava dripping thing, and ooh, cool. They made gold do a glittery thing, and they made a title card, and that's awesome and all. Do you know how many people like this stuff? Do you know how many people invested their time into reading this stuff and loving this stuff? And if you're just going to take a shit on it and turn around and say, well, and that again, I don't think that's Gunn. That's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is hoping to make a Marvel competitor. It doesn't need to. It just needs to make films. I love Warner Brothers films. Hell, I think I've watched most of my, whatever you want to call it, knowledge of films. They're basically all Warner Brothers. And I think anybody knows that. Basically every film is Warner Brothers or something to do with it. So it's just sad to see them treat their fans like this. We could have had an entire multiverse. It's basically where the Marvel Universe is going now. And I think that's what they're pissed about. It's like, shit. I had 3 Spider-Men. Ah, shit. Now what do we do? Okay. Yes, people are right when they say Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns fought. That is very true. No, wait. Ben Affleck left. I jumped ahead of myself. But it's because of his fighting with Jeff Johns. And you can say, well, Jeff Johns, yeah, he's a great writer. He's also an egotist. Everything is his story. He says he's using somebody else's story, but he just about every story he says he's using, he has an identical one he's written. And I think it's cool, of course. Like I said, there's like 50 origin stories. But it doesn't change the fact that he's basically just sticking to all of his own stuff and not letting any other story be told. And he's basically telling the same story he told on television. I swear, didn't they do the Flashpoint in the Flash show? Now we're going to get another Flashpoint in movie? Why? Did they really love it that much on television? I mean, I have... No, I don't. I have the Final Crisis. I don't have Flashpoint. Maybe I should read it. Maybe it is that good that we should do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. I just kind of want stories to stop ending halfway through. I mean, I genuinely did feel like a bit of pain for those people who were sitting around watching like Percy Jackson and getting hyped over the Spider-Man movies and getting hyped over, what's that one? Divergent? With the girl who we were going to get as MJ? No. And that's what I feel bad for. Is these companies are like, well, we're not going to get enough money. Alita. Now that one I feel bad for, because apparently what he did was he just kind of made it easier to follow the story, and everybody's like, well, no, you didn't do it exactly as is. Well, no, I mean, that's kind of the problem, is a lot of these studios are like, well, we think we can simplify it. We think we can make it easy. No, don't make it easier for us to understand. Don't make it for everyone. Make it for the people that it's meant for, and other people will come to. It was an Asmon Gold video I watched like a year ago. I'm going to be paraphrasing him, but he basically said something along the lines of World of Warcraft was more fun when it wasn't made for everyone. Because then grannies and chads and all these people come and they play, and they all had fun. But now that the game's for everyone, nobody's having fun anymore. And that's true. They could have done a multiverse where they had Batfleck and Battinson and MK Batman all running alongside each other, all even doing something together. I mean, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you can see in Batman, do you know who Native Batman is? My mom is Native American, or Cree or Algonquin or something. There's a stupid joke in my family that just confused me, so I don't know which one we are, but I know we're one of the two. We're either Indians we're either Native, we're either Cree who speak Algonquin, or we're Algonquins who speak Cree, but I never know what it is. But if you want to see something ridiculous, but I want in live action, just so everybody has to suffer with me, I want Native American Batman right here. I want Native American Batman. There he is. This is the one I wanted to show, not those other ones. Why? Because he's on a buffalo. That is the funniest shit I've seen regarding like a Batman character. Could you imagine you're trying to get away? You're the villain. You're trying to get away. You turn around and there's this dude who looks like he's trying to be Batman from here down, and then there's just feathers and he's on a buffalo. So apparently he's a doctor for this tribe, and he was, I don't know, following coke or something. He solves a crime. Batman comes and hires him for his Bat group. Anyway, if I have to pick a Batman, why the hell can't we have that alongside them? I want Batman Inc. We could have had Batman Inc. if they were smart enough about it. Hell, they could have had Batfleck be one. They could have had, if Tim Drake, no, the other kid. If Dick Wayne, no, shit. Dick Wayne. If Dick Grayson's already dead, they could just have no. Who come, the kid, the Red Hood, the little ginger kid that dies. They just have a little ginger kid, Jason Todd, literally be the next one. And he just goes straight into being like a Batman of his own instead of being a little, make him and Tim Drake the same thing. You're already doing stupid shit like that anyway. Anyways, that's enough for tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I know I had fun. I'll be back again Wednesday for now with another blend of entertainment and Canadian drama. I'm John. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Comment if you didn't like it. Dislike if you didn't like it. I mean, I still see it. Still helps me. Might not help you guys, but it helps me. I need all the help I can get. Here I am talking about schizophrenically talking about the Canadian coward hiding out at his cottage, talking about how he'd rather be part of Black Lives. And I guarantee you, I've seen the Black Lives Matter rallies. I've seen them. I'm sure they're more fun. Fuck, all these guys did is they cleaned up. They honked their horn a whole bunch. Bam, bam. That's it. Dude took off. Biden's got half a goddamn mind. He's still hanging around. Our dude left. Here I am bitching about Native American Batman. I want Native American Batman. Anyway, be good. Try to find some common ground with your neighbor and read something. I think that's the biggest issue. Why do I think that? Because I read all the time. I'm constantly reading. Where the hell's my books? I got a Bible around here. I just put it away. Probably why I don't have. But yeah, I'll show off my whole bookshelf again sometime. I'll do it with the green screen on so nothing pops up. Every time I try to show a book off on screen now, this happens. Like, what the... Anyway, be good. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again there soon. Bye.